What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Live and Learn. I want to thank you so much for taking the busy time out of your day, out of your life, to watch my video, to listen to what I have to share with you today. I hope that it's going to be helpful, and if it is, make sure you share the video with someone who you think might benefit from watching it, from listening to my words and what I'm sharing on today's topic. Before we get started, of course, in the description of the video, you're going to have my Instagram and TikTok handle at Live to Learn Coaching. You can, of course, follow me there for more content. It's also an opportunity for you to reach out to me directly if you have any questions, if you want to say hi, if you want me to cover a certain subject or anything else. Also in the description of the video, as always, 3 opportunities to donate to support financially this channel. Again, thank you to those of you who have taken your support to that level. It really means a lot. And, there's nothing like having support and people believing in what you're doing. Nothing says that more than, putting our money, toward those efforts. So if that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you think this channel has earned from you, by all means, there you go. At the very least, if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, again, share it with anyone you think would benefit, that really helps out a lot as well. So last 2 weeks, we've been talking about, dealing with skeletons in the closet, what it actually means to sit down and sift through and deal with things that we don't really want to face, that we don't really want to remember, that we don't really want to have to deal with at all. Again, it's kind of a situation where, there's only so much that I can say that's going to relate to everyone. However, I think that what does relate to us all, regardless of where we are, regardless of what our life has entailed, what we have been through, is that all of us have something deep down inside, put away in the back of our minds subconsciously, that we'd rather not deal with, we'd rather not face. However, as I said last week, and I believe I mentioned it the week before, there isn't anything that we can do that's going to make those things disappear completely. We're not going to be able to ignore them out of existence. That's just not the way it works. And not the way our minds, our nervous system, our bodies are wired. And I'm grateful for that. But sometimes, it's annoying. It's discouraging because it's like, why can't I just make this thing go away? Why can't I just erase those memories, erase that feeling? Why does it have to have such an impact on my life? Why is there so much that's affected me now? I mean, some of these things happened years ago. Again, a lot of it comes from experiences in childhood. I'm not going to speak for everyone because I don't know everyone's situation. But I know that for myself, things that I've endured, things that I've been through, things that I'd rather forget, those things continue to have an impact on my life to this day. So what I'm proposing is that we deal with these things not because we have nothing better to do. I'm sure there's plenty of things we'd rather do than that. What I'm saying is that if those things are going to have a voice, if they're going to, whisper something into our ear subconsciously, very subtly, again, almost unrecognizable unless we're really paying attention. If those things that we would rather forget about, those skeletons in the closet, if you will, if they're going to have an influence on us, then you and I might as well decide what they're going to be saying, what their voice represents, and what kind of an impact it's going to continue to have on us. Because we're going to continue to live. Lord willing, we continue to live past seeing this video or past recording it. No one knows. But we're going to continue to live. We're going to continue to lead our lives. And especially those of us who are aiming to do something better. As I mentioned before, we're trying to get out of our current capacity. We're trying to get beyond what we can currently offer, what we can currently do. We're chasing a bigger dream. Whatever that entails, could be a family, it could be a different career, it could be travel, whatever that's going to be. It could be an entrepreneurial idea, something that we want to make happen. We continue. However, these things, they don't just disappear. But as I said before, a wise person once said, we are not responsible what was done to us. Especially when we were children, what were we supposed to do? When you're young and naive. Even in young adulthood, 18, 19 years old, we're not all grown up yet. We're not responsible for what was done to us. We're not responsible for what happened, but we are responsible for how we respond to those things. And I'm just saying this, let's be in a position where we are controlling the narrative, where we are deciding what those things are going to be saying, how they're going to speak into our lives, because it is very much our responsibility, the way in which we respond, even to the things that we don't want to deal with. And just getting to that in the first place is difficult. You know, one thing that I've noticed, and again, especially the past going on 2 months now, is just how lonely the journey is. See, everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but most people, if you ask them, do you want to be great? Would you want to do something excellent? Would you want to be someone who leaves a legacy that's remembered well? Do you want more? Do you want better? Most people are going to say yes. Of course. Because when we ask a question and we get an answer, it's really unfair to... it really makes it unfair. Because I can answer you a lot quicker than I can show you. Right? So the thing is, everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to do different. Everybody wants to change. But who wants to be lonely? Who wants to be isolated? Who wants to not even be able to accept help, not even be able to be helped or guided by the people who want to help and guide you, who you want there with you? No, because there's a big part of the journey that's just for us. It's me, myself, and I. You know, I'll close with something. And I know I've shared this before in other videos, but I'm going to share it again. I had knee surgery years ago. And my first night home, I was propped up on the couch, right? Had to have my leg elevated. I was on those pain pills. Thankful for modern medicine because, man, I would have been in a lot of pain. But I'm watching documentaries on Netflix. I came across this one documentary, right? I couldn't sleep. And it was this individual who was a mountain climber, and he set out to take on a face of a mountain that they said was not, it was unclimbable, if that's a word, right? It was not supposed to be able, you were not as a human being supposed to be able to get up that side of the mountain. But here was this individual who had a passion, who saw it as a challenge and took on that challenge. And, you know, people that climb rocks and mountains, much respect. It takes the kind of courage and guts that I don't have yet. Maybe one day I'll have it, but much respect. But anyway, there's one part of the documentary where the guy that's wanting to do this, he's up there with a friend of his. There's this like weird part of the mountain that they got to like swing on ropes, and it's a very difficult part of the climb. And so the guy gets it finally. He finally gets his hand on wherever he needs to get his hand on. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, right? And his friend who wants to go with him, his friend who intended to finish the journey with him, he just can't make it. He tries and tries and tries and tries, and the guy just cannot get to that next step. So they finally make the tough decision of parting ways. His friend wanted to go with him, but what neither of them knew was that there was going to be a part of the climb that only he was going to be able to do. No one else there, just him. And that's just kind of how it is. You and I, we want to be successful. We want to be better. We want to change. We want to be different. X, Y, Z, go down the list. But what most people don't want is to be alone. Most people don't want to be isolated. Most people don't want to deal with those things that we'd rather not deal with. But if we are going to change, if we are going to be different, if we are going to grow our capacity of what we're able to do, what we're able to accomplish, then that's part of it. And that's something to be expected. But that's why I'm here. That's why Living to Learn, that's why At Live to Learn Coaching exists. To offer some kind of guidance, some kind of help. Sometimes it helps more to hear from someone you don't know or have never met, doesn't know you. Perhaps these words are speaking truth to you. Perhaps these words are meaningful because they're just being said with no bias, with no intention behind them other than to help those who are looking to be helped. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, for listening. Have a great day.